Shalom. Our verse today is Luke chapter 14 verse 10. But when you are invited, go and sit down at the lowest place, so that when your host comes, he may say to you, "Friend, move up higher." Then you will be honored in the presence of all who sit at the table with you. This verse is an advice that Jesus gave some fellow guests at the house of a leading Pharisee. While they were busy watching Jesus closely to see what he will do, as we read in Luke 14:1, Jesus, on the other hand, was noticing what they were doing in Luke 14:7. The action of the Pharisees is expressed with the Greek verb paratereo. It means to observe someone to see what the person does. Jesus' action, on the other hand, is expressed with the Greek verb epeko. It means to pay attention to something. So while the Pharisees intentionally wanted to see what Jesus will do in order to trap him, Jesus coincidentally noticed what they were doing. Jesus noticed that some of the guests chose the places of honor in verse 7. This gave Jesus an opportunity to teach them the importance of humility. Jesus drew their attention to the fact that not all guests are ranked equal. Some guests are more honorable than others. The honor is based on the mindset of the host. If in the eyes of the host you are an honorable guest, a place of honor will be given you. If on the other hand you are not an honorable guest but presumes the seat of honor, the host will have to ask you to vacate the seat of honor. In the end, you face disgrace before other invited guests. If, however, you assume the lowest place and the host invites you to a more honorable seat, you will be honored in the presence of all who sit at table with you. The message that Jesus seeks to convey to his listeners is this: don't you ever think so highly of yourself. Jesus concluded his discourse by stating that all who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. If you consciously and intentionally humble yourself, you will not face humiliation. Which do you prefer? To do it yourself or let someone else force you into it? If you refuse to humble yourself, someone else will falsely humiliate you by putting you in your place. When you consciously and intentionally lower yourself, the only option left is upliftment, glory, and exalted positions. May God, who lifts up the lowly and downtrodden, see your humble state and grant you the privilege to sit with princes. Amen.